Medianoche.
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 Podcast.
Medianoche.
Podcast.
Medianoche.
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 Podcast.
All right, we're live.
We are live.
What's up?
We are live in the moment.
What's up, y'all? I know it's been a while since I did an episode of my Medianoche podcast. The last guest that I had on the podcast was Charlie Fast for episode 27. So I guess this is appropriate to be part 2.
A continuation?
Yeah, maybe like I don't know how many months later, but
Yo, dog, I'm honored, and it's like I can't even believe I was on the internet. I'm like living in the 90s. I'm lying.
Your picture, like for the Instagram post, definitely describes that.
What was it? I don't know. I don't recall.
Well, you know, like to be honest with you, man, like the type of person that I am is I'll go on these binges where I'll want to do something, and then I'll do it like 100 times or whatever, and then I'll get bored of it and I'll move on to something else. And it's always with media. You know what I'm saying? So I did 27 episodes just because I felt like doing a podcast.
That's a binge, man.
That's a binge, yeah. And you know, for the first chunk of it, it was tight, man, because you know, I got some feedback from some guests, some people that were involved in the hip hop scene.
Word.
Like, yo, man, like what you're doing is tight. You're helping us kind of, you know, just mark down some memories that we had because time is passing and people are moving on and kind of not remembering as much, and
Yeah.
you know. So that was tight, man. I'm happy to start it again. I don't know what it's gonna be about now, but
Bro, I think you're moving in the right direction. You got your equipment hooked up in your van. We got a GoPro with, so I guess we're gonna have visuals for the first time on your podcast.
that's right. This is the first visuals, man.
Potentially, it's looking all right in the viewfinder or
Yeah.
whatever the hell it's called.
But mind you, man, like this is a trial run. So like I'm gonna let y'all know for all the gearheads out there, just to kind of people might find interest in this, and if not, it's cool.
Let them know.
But the first episodes, I was doing it in this room that I was staying in a hotel room. I had condenser mics, and we were just doing audio through my interface from Pro Tools. Because that's the thing, I'm a gearhead, and I just stock up on gear when I, you know, like, oh, you know what, I could use that, and I save up money and I get it, and then now I have it, and then when an idea comes to do something, it feels good to be able to execute that idea with good equipment.
Hell yeah.
You know. So then I came up on this Zoom H6 recorder for skits, music skits.
Let them know.
And then I had a dynamic microphone, which was a Beta 57A for performing, a wireless one. But I wanted to do some videos, which y'all can expect some of this soon, of like whoever it is that I have a song with, and both of us have the same quality microphone. I don't like having the best mic on the same song with somebody. I want everyone to have the same quality mic. So I came up on this bundle of these SM58s, and now I have, you know, a sufficient amount of equipment to do more podcasting mobile.
Hell yeah.
So this is tight.
Hey man, did I inspire you with the mobile podcasting?
Yeah, you did, man. You came through with your H5 before I even knew what they were.
I don't even think you've heard any of the other podcasts. I'm still in progress. I'm not as easily mobile and able to put my time towards it as Art is, but I have like a cache of interviews and stuff that I am doing and that I have been doing, and I want to record an intro for each one of them or whatever. Yeah, I'm thinking, and I'm I still don't exactly know what it is that I want to do, but I think I have a feeling. I mean, up until now, it's just been like the I don't know, man, the Charles Fast podcast or whatever. I'm thinking I might transition that into the Rough Diamonds podcast.
That's what you're gonna name it?
I believe so, because I come across these people, man, and these people throughout my life, and I could see the gems that are inside them that other people might not see. You know, they other people just be like, oh yeah, that's Art or whatever. He walks his dog, and you know, don't think anything of like somebody like you. But I know like the gems that are inside of you, and that are gonna be I don't know, man. They're being unearthed, man, and you're gonna have your day, man. And I want to be part of that in helping you get to where you're going.
Damn, I appreciate that, man. For real, you know. And it's funny, man. Like you and I have these conversations often. Well, you know what I mean by often. Like more often than I guess I would like to have with other people that mean a lot in my life. So I appreciate when you make your time available. I know you're busy. You got a family and you got your own aspirations and stuff. So the fact that you're taking time out of your life to express some interest in something that I have going on, like I appreciate that, man. Like, you know, a few years ago I had much more entitlement. I was expecting people to be like, yo, like, nah, like I'm dope, you're supposed to, you know, champion what I have to. This was my mentality at the time. Dopeness. Yeah, that was my mentality at the time. And the end result of that was just, you know, like people aren't really trying to deal with that. You know, they I don't know, man. So I ended up kind of exhausting my resources with people that were once my friends or my peers, and they just kind of moved on, and everyone has their own lives, you know. That's like the sonder of that, and it makes me just appreciate it more today, considering what I've went through the last few years, you know. So I mean, but yo, like, listen, aside from that, man, like, what's been up with Charlie Fast? Okay.
That's what's up. No, I'm just kidding. That would sound horrible on the mic.
No, it's all good. I mean, like, when you
all
say
good. It's all good. Moving right along.
Yeah. You know, like, you know that someone has gems inside, and like when they're dropping gems, that's the sound that they make. Yeah. You know, so
a gem has just appeared, has just manifested.
Word.
I would say, I mean, I guess creatively, I do a lot of things. I draw, I design, I code, I animate, I guess I've been picking up these skills everywhere, like just to add, so for my own, like to do for my own self, because I don't want to, if I could do something for myself, I don't want to have to pay somebody $500, $1,000, $3,000 to do something of quality when I could do something of quality. I will say, so I guess everything that I do comes back to like the MC, the I don't know, you want to say the rapper. I mean, everybody's a rapper nowadays, and like I don't even really listen to new music. To me, it's more, it's a craft. It's something that I mean, to me, I look at it deeper as it's like the real rappers or the people or that are dropping real knowledge are like the prophets of these days. Like you hear about the prophets of the Bible and remember them, and they have these epic poems and stuff, and talking about God and God's people and whatever. Like these are people of importance that we look back upon. We have books about, and we write sermons about or whatever. Not saying that I want somebody to write a sermon about me, but I'm saying that the people that are trying to really make a difference and shed light on real life, and not just how much money they have or any of that BS. Like these are like the prophets that in the future, the ones that stand out, I mean, they're going to be talked about or whatever. I don't know. Not that I'm looking to be talked about. I guess I want my existence to be meaningful in this life before I leave. Ideally, that's a very, very long time away for me leaving this planet. But so yeah, I mean, it all comes back to the MC, supporting the MC and me. That being said, also, the kind of work that I'm doing, I don't know, I'm commuting. Like I have a hell of a commute.
You mean like literally driving?
Driving, yeah.
Okay.
Driving, like I drive like maybe, I don't know, 3 hours a day or whatever. Give or take. What do
you occupy your time with while you're driving?
I'm either listening to a podcast or I have no music or anything off, so my mind can think on the things that I need to think on in order to succeed and get to where I'm aiming to go, and different problems and stuff that I'm trying to work out in my own mind. like I'll have like silence, and I'll just be thinking to myself and then working things out in my mind or whatever. Music, as beautiful as it is, it I don't know, it I guess it's meant to distract you and to take you somewhere or whatever. But sometimes you got to be right there in the moment and listen to nothing and listen to your own thoughts and be introspective.
I can definitely agree with that, because when I walk Morty or when I'm driving, I'll put on like my headphones and I'll play some music, thinking that the music that I want to listen to is going to help me kind of like push out these ideas that I have, like flesh them out.
Mm-hmm.
And what ends up happening is I just get stuck in the starting point of the idea, and I'm just enjoying the music. And then once I stop the music and I can just kind of be in the moment with my dog or just driving or whatever, that's when I can truly work out what's in my head. So man, I feel you. And man, I love driving long distances. Like when I was able to do that, man, that's when the best ideas, the best way to organize your mind comes, right? So
Driving long distances?
Hell yeah, man.
I suppose I would like driving long distances daily. No, I don't agree with you. Driving long distances, maybe every once in a while because you're driving to Atlanta or Chicago or something. All right, fine. If that's the case and I have the choice, dog, I'm on the back in my house on my freaking hammock swing or whatever, with nobody freaking asking me questions or whatever, and me just thinking and putting those thoughts and not having to deal with freaking driving a car, and God forbid you're on the road and you freaking get into an accident or something terrible. But yeah, I guess going back to like me talking about work, like I have a long commute or whatever. I feel like I'm wasting a lot of my time.
Really?
Yes.
Like, wasting time. Damn. Okay.
Wasting time working for somebody else. And
okay, I feel
it's
you.
like, okay, no matter how much. I mean, I guess there's an amount that somebody will pay you that you'd be like, okay. I mean, like if I was an employer and I saw you and regardless if you're doing any of this rap stuff or whatever, let's say you're still doing, you have these aspirations or whatever, and I tell you, all right, Art, you gotta drive 2 hours a day, 2.5, whatever, 2 hours, let's say, and you work 40 hours a week, 9 to 6, 9:30 to 6 or whatever. What salary or what can I pay you that you would do that happily?
So like, okay,
with your aspirations or whatever, what would be the number that, damn, I can't pass that up?
Damn, I feel you. I almost feel like that's a rhetorical question, because at the end of the day, it's not worth selling hours of your life away, but at the same time, acquiring what you want to accomplish costs money, and and also if you have a family, you got to provide for them. So it's like, I don't know, man, like the way that I work is I have a to-do list, and whatever costs money in that to-do list, I add all that up and I say, okay, this is the total amount of money I need to make. What can I do to make that money? And then I just do whatever it is I have to do, however long I got to do it, and I move on from there. But that's just me. Now, I'm not trying to speak in general that this is the end all be all. This is just me personally, at least right now. So I mean,
but if I said I'll give you $1 million a year and work 40 hours a week for me, drive 2 hours a day,
I would do it. $1 million to drive? To drive, I'll be bumping beats the entire. I'll be like whistling.
To drive 2 hours a day, but you go to an office and you're like doing paperwork and computer stuff or whatever.
Man, I feel you, but damn, dog.
Okay, $100,000.
Still, I've never made $100,000 in a year, so I would definitely.
It's like a life goal. Or
dedicate.
Whatever. Like, holy shit, if I can only make $100,000 a year, and yeah. Anyways, nonetheless, so I make decent money. I supply. I provide for my family. We live in a decent area. I feel like my life, I don't know, like to a degree, my life is being wasted. Just driving for one thing, that to me, that's like just wasting time or whatever. Maybe other people can see it as, oh, that's the time where I can think and where I'm free or whatever. I would rather be at home or have a little office in the back or whatever where I can just think on my thoughts or whatever, or work on the projects that I want to work on, and not freaking commute or whatever. But I'm sure that's everybody. So in my position, like if I were to try to, in my mind, and maybe I'm lying to myself, or maybe I haven't pursued this hard enough, but I feel like if I try to get a job at a place that's very close, closer to my house, that's not much of a commute, I would be taking a pay cut, which would be very difficult with a family. So I guess in order to conclude the thought, I feel like the only thing that I could really do positively, and for me and myself and my family and my lineage or whatever, is to create a product, create an app that I've been working on, and I've been writing out, and I've put a lot of thought and energy, and I have some good momentum, which I'm pretty happy with. But and I'm not gonna get too in detail of what the app is. Soon, when I have a strong prototype and I'm gonna be blasting it and getting people excited about it, then I'll be talking all about it or whatever. I will say, in order to manifest it into the world and talking to somebody else, this would be recorded, is I'm calling it, and I'm pretty sure that this is the direction that it's gonna go. I'm calling it the canvas economy. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
I remember you talking to me about it. I'm not going to shed details to but I remember you telling me about that idea, and it's a good idea, man. You should definitely.
The more I think about it, and I'll be laying down because I'm tired, and in my mind, think more on it, work it more out in your head, keep visualizing it in your mind and manifest. And I've never really done that about anything else, but I'm like, okay, you have this solid idea and you have a solid way of how it could work. Keep thinking about it, keep your mind on it, even though you're not actively on the computer and writing more about it or refining your writings about it. But at the very least, keep freaking ponder it, and then I feel like I'm gonna manifest that, and this is part of the manifestation moving forward.
I do believe in manifestation, man. Especially if you have an idea that's so present in your mind, and you just can't stop thinking about it, you're obsessing over it. I feel like that's God or the universe or whatever it is that y'all believe. I feel like that's God presenting to you what he's willing to help you out on if you apply yourself to make that happen. And I feel like we're tools to God, that's just my personal opinion. And with that being said, for me on my end, music is my obsessive idea, but that's because the underlining theme to all my music is that that God has my back while I go through all this crazy stuff to live out my dream that I've been thinking about since I can remember. And I feel like if I were to quit, I'm not saying that I ever want to, but if I were ever to even contemplate the idea of quitting, it would be doing a disservice to everybody that's ever believed in me, that's helped me out, that gave me an opportunity, whatever. People that enjoy my music, that say, yo bro, check this out, I showed this to, we're providing value to each other. They're raising my morale, and I'm providing them with music for the soundtrack of their lives. And it feels good, man. It feels good to keep going. And
I think you got good direction, man, and you got good momentum. It's like, okay, you have all these things that are empowering you, and it's that the mass of all those things are gonna help you as you're at the top of the hill or whatever, and you've been pushing all this stuff, and you've been pushing collecting gear and items and beats and writing lyrics or whatever. That's all pushing it up to the mountain, and all that stuff all that mass is gonna help you get to the mountain. And then it's like the boulder, that's when it starts rolling or whatever. And then like you have all this stuff together, it's gonna roll even farther than if you were like not so much investing in yourself, because all that momentum, all that mass, all that inertia is gonna propel you forward as it's going down the hill, and then you're going forward. I mean, dog, we're in your freaking van. We're in your tour van where we're recording a podcast.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have.
Hey, I'm listening.
You dog, a mobile setup, a studio setup. I mean, bro, it's like I'm freaking excited about it, and I'm not even you. And I told you earlier that I'm proud of you. At the same time, I'm jealous of you. But it's a loving jealousy, and I'm living vicariously through my brother Art at this point of his life, and perhaps in the future I'll join him to some degree, whatever.
Oh man, Charlie.
We're all on our own paths.
You know, man, like I didn't want to I wasn't sure how I was gonna announce it, and I'm gonna elaborate on this real quick, because this is the thing, man. The last time that I spoke about it on one of my vlogs, I said, listen, you know, I'm thinking about getting a van so that I could. So let's post for the picture. Hey.
Let's see, square.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like, no, it's okay. Like the last time that I spoke about it, I said I wanted to get a van. This is the thing. It first started when I was out in California and I couldn't get a place to live. I had money, I had my belongings, I presented myself in a decent manner. I wasn't like, you know, some kid just living out in the street trying to make it happen. I was decent. I was, you know, like they can tell that I'm a decent person, but I still couldn't lock in a place to live when I was out in California. I had the money, first, last, security, everything, but I never got approved for a place to live, so I was forced to live out of the car that I had at the time, which was a Scion XB, a 2014 Scion XB, right, the box car. And I was able to like Tetris, like compartmentalize every single crevice in that small space with everything that I had in my life. I had my studio equipment, video equipment, clothing, hygiene, my dog and his stuff. He even had like a little, you know, those dog houses that look kind of like an igloo, you know, like he had a dog house in there, his little space. And I was riding around with someone else, like a homie of mine, whatever. So then I could never, hello. So I could never like lock down a place to live. Damn, she smells good. Like her perfume,
her essence
followed her. So my bad. So anyway, so I couldn't get a place to live, and I grew accustomed to traveling with all my things, right? And I also was driving a lot. Those long distances, I would drive like 7 hours a day. I put 111,000 miles in that Scion in 1 year. A year and like maybe 2-3 months. 111,000 miles.
Well, I'm guessing they're highway miles.
And mountain miles. I came out with the EP, Mountain Miles, you know, like talking about that little time of my life, right? So, and I really grew this appreciation for just being parked on top of a mountain, or, you know, if you go on YouTube and you look up the music video for Ramon Revere for the song that he has me featured on called Ceviche, it's taking place out there. In July 4th of 2014, July 4th, we did a freestyle to that song, to the instrumental Rico. You might just get hit with that Rico, right? We did a freestyle to that in Humboldt County, you know? Woke up, we were staying in a hotel, like woke up, wrote the lyrics, recorded it, mixed it, mastered it, filmed it, edited it, put it out in the same day.
Yeah.
Right?
Very dope.
For July 4th. And all that took place there, and we were living out of hotels, but I had to make money every day, or we had to hustle every day to make money to have a hotel to sleep at. And all I wanted was just a place to live, man. We couldn't get it. So I grew used to that car life, you know, but I also grew used to that mountain life. and that highway life, rest stop life, you know? And I love it. I prefer that over the city life now. Partially because I don't like the noise. You hear the highway, Biscayne Boulevard right here?
Biscayne Boulevard.
Like all that, I don't like that anymore. At least it's just too much.
But it's Miami.
It is. It's activity, but it's too much activity. Like, have you ever heard just nothing? You know, you step outside and there's nothing for noise to bounce off of. There's no trees anywhere. You're at the top of a mountain. You hear nothing. You almost hear like just your own tinnitus if you have a ringing in your ear. That's all you hear. Like, I miss that tranquility. And that's when I started to look into a larger living space, which was the van. I wanted an RV first. I had enough money to get a Class C RV. Couldn't get it, you know, whatever. But God was working, you know. So long story short, whatever. I don't want to tell my whole story on this podcast with you, but I'm just happy to finally have this van. I was binge watching van life videos for like, you know, a couple years, you know.
Do you have a name?
Yeah, Vanessa.
Vanessa. Oh man.
Right now I'm inside Vanessa.
So this is the first usage of Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Her
you gotta say it with the
Vanessa.
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 Whatever.
I like the lady name better.
Yeah.
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
I don't know. I'm forcing it.
No,
Maybe it'll catch on.
No. You can say Vanessa. I just thought about it like 20 minutes before you got here anyway. So.
If Vanessa had if she had like a color, if her soul had a color, what would it be?
Well, she's white, so I mean.
So she have a white soul.
She has a pure white, off-white.
Bro, I brought a little gift for your first podcast experience and recording experience inside Vanessa. In true Drink Champs fashion. Our podcast today is sponsored by Barefoot Bubbly Pink Moscato Champagne.
Yo,
and I seen Nori hold it like a baby.
He does, man. He always did. I always found that fun.
This is for you.
Oh, funny.
This is for you.
Thanks, man. Moscato.
It was. I had it kept in the ice.
Hey, you know, like, damn, thanks, man. Like, I mentioned Moscato in my song. I live in a transit city. I go, Moscato by the bottle, pescado. Yeah, I mean, y'all have to listen to the song to hear how I go into it. But.
We could either drink this or we could break it on the side of the van.
I don't want no dents on my fucking van. I'm like, nah, I guess we're gonna drink this.
Guess.
Bubbly. Damn, that's funny. Thanks, man. Hold on. Thanks, yo. Appreciate it. Hell yeah. Thanks, man. Shit.
I mean, we better crack this thing open before the podcast is over. Because if not, I mean, we're not gonna be driving. Art works after this, so he's not gonna get ripped either. I'm gonna be hanging out with Art.
Thanks, man. Shit, for real. I'm gonna put this down and like, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I could.
Here, thank you, bro. Yo, Charlie Fast is a real friend, man. Like, you know, you come out of your way, I almost at moment's notice.
Bro, moment's notice. I was cool with just falling asleep. I was already resting, and then I'm like, all right, I'll maybe I'll get up in an hour and spend 2 hours on my pursuits or whatever. And then this guy freaking calls me or texts me, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing tonight? Sleeping? And then he tells me about the van, and I'm like, oh shit, man. So this would be the first podcast in it. The first here. I'll let you pop this out the window.
All right, word. Out the window. Damn.
Out the window or somewhere. I don't know, man. Do something, but if possible, get the sound on the.
Well, I have it right here. So.
Okay. Oh it's like fucking. It's like a Super Bowl in this mug. Should we throw out this ice?
Oh shit. Damn, there's apple juice in my cup.
Throw it out, man.
I heard your tone change. Yo, throw it out, dog.
Throw it out, man.
Here, man. Here.
Me? I'll pour it for you.
No, man. don't know. I don't know how to pour champagne. I need a 1 second.
It's all good.
Mike.
I want you to.
My mic was in the way. Hold up.
You know what? I'm gonna toss out this ice so it doesn't water down the experience.
I just don't want to spill it all over my dog Morty.
You're not. All will be well, my friend.
Man, Charlie.
Look at that shit, man. Fucking, you got champagne on your maiden voyage.
In my Flanagan's cup.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Flanagan's, a true Florida original.
I want that to start becoming a trend. Instead of people double cupping a white styrofoam cup, just walk around with a Flanagan's cup, man.
Bro, if you go to Flanagan's, make sure you order the ribs and then the freaking the barbecue sauce. Don't neglect the barbecue sauce. You gotta drink that stuff. Haven't been there in years. Maybe Mr. Flanagan will invite me over.
I think he died.
Maybe his seed will see this podcast and be like, damn, dog, fucking Charles Fast. Let's bring him to Flanagan.
That'll be a cool name for a van. Vanagons.
Flanagan.
I don't know, man. Now I'm gonna start obsessing over van name flips. You know.
Vanessa.
But and that's the way that my mind works, man. Like, I just can't stop obsessing over like playing with words. You know.
All right, we gotta.
Yeah, just put it right there, straight. Cheers, man.
Cheers, homie.
God bless you, Charlie.
We are not driving.
Hell no. Oh, God.
Damn, my nigga.
That's good.
Woo. I mean, barefoot. Okay. I know people might look down upon barefoot. And this might be a product plug right now. But damn, barefoot does their thing, man.
Yeah.
They're freaking bubbly on it.
I haven't drank in like 6 months.
He hasn't drank barefoot. He hasn't drank in 6 months, and I hit him up with the Moscato. And
Moscato bottle.
Maybe you want to send us some glasses. Maybe you want to send us some more wines to sample. Yeah, I've definitely contributed to sending your children to college.
You're like low key like letting us know that you're like just drinking mad
barefoot, mad Moscato. Nah, man, I haven't had freaking champagne or anything that comes close to champagne and freaking, I don't know, man. Feels like a year. It probably hasn't been a year. Maybe I've been at a party or something.
You know, like speaking of Moscato and Nori, I like shout out to EFN, man.
Shout out to EFN.
EFN is the real one, like
OG.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to go back into scenic roots.
You're getting the true Miami experience.
You know,
next to Biscayne Boulevard, the Biscayne Boulevard.
You know, man, like when I was working at Drink Champs, man, I'm gonna be real with you, man. When I was working at Drink Champs, like everyone there, everyone there's cool, bro. Mm-hmm. But the real one in Drink Champs is EFN, bro. From the get. And I've known EFN for like 10 years, right? But we know how it is in Miami. Like, you know them, but you don't be kicking it with them. But EFN is the only one that I know out of that whole camp that truly gave opportunity. You feel me? I was like, yo, I have a camera. I know how to work a camera. You need an extra cameraman? And I just wanted to be there.
Is that how you did it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was like, yo, I just wanted to be there. You know, like how Rocky Balboa told Mickey, like, well, Mickey, I just want to be around it. I don't know if you remember that part. He's like mopping the gym, and Mickey was like, yo, get out of here. Like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, yo, I just got to be around it. That's how I am with hip hop. I was like, yo, I have a camera. I know how to work it. Like, I'm punctual. Like, do you need an extra cameraman? And he told me to holler at Rich Blanco, which is their main camera guy. So, Rich Blanco. And I hit him up, and he wasn't really too inviting to the idea. But then the producer, whatever it's called, at the 8 and 9 store, they had like a bunch of producers there, and Illmind was there to speak to producers.
Nice.
And I don't remember what I said, but I remember I said something and made everybody laugh. And I look, and Rich Blanco standing next to me. I was like, yo, you're Rich, right? Oh shit, you're Art. Yeah, what's up? Whatever. So we hit it off. It was cool. And man, EFN broke bread with me. You know, like, gave me opportunity, and he came through on the podcast. Like, he didn't have to do none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
So shout out to EFN.
Shout outs to EFN.
And Nori too. But I'm gonna be real, man. I haven't watched an episode of Drink Champs in a minute because I kind of like moved on from that. You know what I'm saying? I love them.
Sure. Hell yeah.
But I'm too occupied with what I have going on, And the podcast that I've been listening to lately is the one you put me onto with Blueprint.
Shout outs to Blueprint and Illogic on the Super Duty Tough Work podcast.
Yeah, that podcast.
Fucking dropping
I love
jewels, empowering and educating listeners. I mean, whatever, man. Shout outs to Blueprint. Shout outs to Illogic. Those are the homies. Those guys are freaking rap pioneers, podcast pioneers.
You wanna let them know like how you got in contact with Blueprint?
Sure. Okay, so when Joel Stegale was alive, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Joel Stegale, man. God bless you.
Let me,
Yeah, for real.
I'm gonna pour out a little bit of this Moscato for Joel Stegale. I wonder how many homies Joel Stegale has had pour out drinks for him.
Yeah. What's going on?
We were on a party here,
Yeah.
and they told us after that they're going to private parties or something like that. And we met a girl, and she said that a tree house should be a good party.
A tree
Do you
house?
know this club?
I don't. I haven't been to a tree house since I was a kid. I don't know if there's a tree house around here.
But I mean,
She said tree house, so
if
Nah, I don't know.
if you have a phone and you look up treehouse, there might be
Yeah.
like a treehouse cafe or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
now we already looked, and there was like house music.
Man, I don't know. Are they still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked them for
I asked the
directions.
people there. They said they're going to private parties. They were in Tree Club before, and they said it's good. It's not so expensive, and it's good.
Oh, okay.
But tonight it's not a special party. It's not like there is a special DJ or something like that today.
Damn, I don't know. I just
Okay,
want to
maybe you have
misinform you.
some tips or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even know where that
Okay,
place is. But hey, I hope you find it.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you. Have
Hey,
a nice night.
You're welcome. You too. Shout out to Joe Stegale, man.
Oh, shout outs to Joel Stegale. So, yeah, I don't know if he's ever had any of his homies pour out freaking liquor for him. Nonetheless, there's this place called Catalyst Miami. It's how do you describe it, man? It's like it was and kind of is still the like hip hop hub of Florida, and is like.
And that's the end of my memory card on the GoPro.
That's the end of the memory.
All right, guys, the rest will just be audio. Let's keep going.
The rest will be audio. So yeah, man. So I for many years I was a presence, a decent presence at Catalyst, and I helped usher in the MC, or bring back the MC culture with performances, freestyles, battles. I mean, it wasn't all me, but definitely.
Hey, the iPhone came through.
Oh shit, we got the iPhone.
Hey, Super Duty Tough Work just came out with a podcast
Nice.
episode. Notification. Signs of bad leadership. About to.
Always dropping jewels, and they come with freaking 10 reasons, dog. And
Okay.
bless you with jewels. Anyways, make a short story long. So, I mean, I guess my vision at Catalyst, shout outs to H2O, which really, I guess I like sparked it, and H2O was there, and he saw what it could be, and he freaking jumped on stage with me. I've known H2O since I was like 15, and man, he just took it to the next level, and we started Saturday Mic Live, and that was like a monthly. Was it weekly? Was it monthly? Well, I don't know, man.
I don't remember,
I think
man.
it was monthly. I'm sorry, forgive me, man. My brain has been elsewhere. But we would throw these monthly events and all local artists. And Joe Stegale had a little bit of money from that they were, because they run by grants. Catalyst runs by like donations and grants and stuff. And so they had a little bit of money that they wanted to bring some people down or whatever. And then, so I had brought down Quell. Shout outs to Quell
Hey.
Maker. The freaking Quell's the homie in Chicago. Check him out. He has like 50 albums out. Quality. Nonetheless, we're talking about Blueprint. So I had brought over Quell, and you know, we hit it off, and it was a great time, and everybody was into it or whatever. And then so Quell, he travels the America, the world, whatever. And then so Swanberger, shout outs to Swanberger in Orlando, who has the Sunshine State of Mind thing going, and he's like the mayor of Chicago, mayor of Orlando, from what I understand. That would be very dope, dog. If you became the actual mayor, that would be fantastic. Nonetheless, so he calls me or texts me or whatever. We ended up talking, and he's like, "Yo, the homie Quell said that you're the man to talk to in Miami to throw a hip hop event." I was like, "Holy crap!"
Have a good night.
Bye. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like to me, I've never had anybody of any kind of name reach out to me for for anything or whatever. I was like, "Yeah, what's going on?" It's like, "Oh, I have Blueprint and he wants to do a show in Miami." I was like, "Freaking hell yeah, Blueprint! I'll do throw a show for Blueprint." He wants X amount of dollars, and I don't know, man, like a couple things or whatever, but they were very minor. Blueprint is and the people that he rolls with are very low maintenance. God bless him. It was DJ, that first time it was DJ Rare Groove and Bobby Silver. Shout outs to Bobby Silver, the bassist and man about town. Shout outs to DJ Rare Groove also. You might want to check them out. These guys are from Ohio. Nonetheless, so I was like, yeah, hell yeah, I'll throw a show for Blueprint. So I got Joel Stegale on board or whatever. This was when Blueprint was doing the Adventures in Counterculture. He hadn't put out some music in a while, and he was like, I don't know how many months or a year sober or something. And I mean, he's Blueprint is, I don't know, man. I watch him. I feel like he's inspirational. He's inspirational with because he talks about like freaking drinking ridiculously and freaking blacking out drinking, and that was his life, and his whole paycheck would go to freaking bars and whatever. And so he got his life back together, and has been sober for how long? I don't know whether or not if he's had a drink here or there or whatever. I'm believing him to be sober or whatever, but he's really pushing his art and his craft, and he was kind of in a similar situation to me that where he was in technology, doing like coding and stuff. I'm not exactly sure, but he had a regular job, and then so I guess the way his cards played out was he never like got married or had kids or anything like that, and he saved up enough money. I'm paraphrasing. I'm believing he like bought a house or like hooked up his mom with whatever he had to hook, whatever he was able to, and he was able to fashion his life in a way where he can create his craft and travel and drop projects and do podcasts and write books and create albums and create music and work with other artists. So yeah, man. And then so that happened, man, and he came down and we the show was off the chain. A lot of people didn't even know who Blueprint was, and a lot of people knew who Blueprint was after that. At least in our little bubble of hip hop over here. And so like I had him stay at one of my friend's house or whatever, which is a very generous host. Shout outs to Meat Pie, Nerge Media. You may want to check out Nerge Media, he's doing some big things too and working for himself. He used to work for the man just like me, but he broke out of it and he's working for himself and he's succeeding, and he's like shooting he's doing camera work for TV shows and mocking up websites and web applications and stuff, and he's a good man to know. Shout outs to Nerge Media, Meat Pie in the building. Nonetheless, he stayed there, and Pie has like a museum at his house of like MF Doom posters and Madlib posters and freaking rare records that he has mounted on the wall and stuff. And bro, it's like he's like the quintessential fan that has some money and spends money on records and collectibles and hip hop collectibles and stuff. And so yeah, man. So Blueprint, I brought him down for one or more, like maybe a total of 2 or 3 more times or whatever.
But like when you brought him down,
yeah.
Who were the openers of that show? Do you remember?
The first one, I don't have it in front of me. I know Recognize was on the ticket. I remember Jabberjaw was on there. Me and H2O, Charles Fast and H2O as the Vice City Cypher were performing.
And the Bench, right?
The Bench Click.
Right, the Bench.
I remember Angelique Stars.
I remember I really wanted to be a part of that show when I saw the flyer, and I was like, damn, that's a really good lineup.
It was a hell of a lineup. My apologies that
it's okay.
that didn't happen.
It's all right.
Thankfully,
I don't have no entitlement.
To my rescue, you told me that you had to work, And he was not able to make it.
Well, like, man, Blueprint, man, like, for those that are fans of underground hip hop, y'all know that the three most influential labels from early 2000s, late 90s underground hip hop was Def Jux, Rhyme Sayers, and Strange Music, right? Would you add another? I mean, I think that's pretty much it.
Hell yeah.
And
Rhyme Say, I think Stone's Throw is
Stone's Throw, of course.
For
I'm
a hot
tripping.
minute.
Yeah, Stone's Throw too. My fault. That's like the Mount Rushmore of, like, of late 90s, early 2000s underground hip hop. And RJD2 came out with his album Dead Ringer, right? Which I just bumped the other day too. I revisited that album. Nice. Phenomenal album.
Is that the one with the big game on it?
The big game. I need
the one that I got the freestyle over, the Every Red Light freestyle.
I think so.
Because I remember I used to jam freaking RJD2 heavy, and then like that's where I found Blueprint through Soul Position, and I used to jam those Soul Positions hard.
This show is over. RJD2 on the beats, plus myself, Blueprint on the rhymes. The show is over, man. That's awesome, man. It's cool, like binging on old music that because when you're younger, music has a bigger influence on you. I don't even listen to music that much more at the moment because I'm more interested in just getting information, which is why I've been on my podcast tip. And like podcasts, I feel like are back to what talk radio used to be, Howard Stern, whatever. So to hear some of my favorite, this is the thing. If all my favorite rappers started a podcast, I would be bugging out. If A$AP Rock started a podcast, yo, come on. Like, if Slug started a podcast, LP, any of these guys started a podcast, I would be bugging out of excitement. So the fact that Blueprint, it's like, you know what, man?
He's ahead of the curve.
Yes, he is. He is, man.
To a degree. I know podcasts are blowing up and they're kind of big.
But how many of the artists that we grew up on are doing it?
Bro, but he's dropping freaking jewels.
Yeah, his format
knowledge.
is
like, damn, I learned stuff from listening to their podcasts.
So everybody out there in podcast land, since you're into podcasts, shout out to Shadi with his Human Sushi podcast, right?
I gotta check that out. I haven't.
It's good, man. It's good. Like,
shout out to Shadi. He's a writer on Popova.
Yeah, Popova, something like that.
But it's
Vanessa,
comic.
whatever.
Vanessa.
But like everyone that's into podcasts and into hip hop, there's a lot of podcasts out there that focuses on that life, that whole coming up as an underground artist life. And Blueprint lays the blueprint down. And I appreciate that. Thank you for putting me onto it.
Hell yeah. And I put you on. I know. I tried to put you on before. And I don't know, I guess it didn't take. And then I forced you to listen to the Dame Dash episode. And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
The Dame Dash episode with 10 points of why Dame Dash is the GOAT.
Fire.
Bro,
super fire.
If you're listening to this, after this, you search for Super Duty Tough Work Dame Dash. And freaking be blessed.
And listen, while we're on the topic real quick, because I do have to wrap it up.
Yes.
Not that I don't want to continue, it's just that I got something that I have to do.
Yeah, and it's getting to be that time.
But we're gonna kick it,
yeah, for sure.
But listen, everybody out there, thank you for taking time out of your day for I know that y'all got stuff going on. Thank you for kicking it with Charlie Fast and I and Morty, who surprisingly has been mad sleepy, just kicking it there. This is the Midnight Noche Podcast. This is episode 28, which is part 2 of my Charlie Fast conversation. But there'll be more.
Yeah, you should probably delete the part 1. I don't know.
Nah, that's classic.
I don't know.
But
I don't know if I would say that.
Let me know what y'all think. Like now we're experimenting with video too. Man, just keep supporting who you want to support. I'm looking forward to this new chapter of my life now that I have the van. Which is my touring van that I'm going to be able to work out of. I always wanted to record a song in front of the ocean without the sounds of the waves bleeding into the mic. So let's see how that goes.
That sounds dope, man.
All right. So God bless y'all. Charlie Fast, any last words for now?
Amen. hey man, we're living in the moment. We're making the most of what we have and what God has provided to us, and what is in our vicinity to use the tools that we can acquire with the resources that we have. And I like to think that we're not wasting our lives, man, and we're doing something productive, and we're either getting to a goal, or the journey to that goal is the goal, or the life, or whatever, and we're pursuing and looking to get better at what we do and at what we love, and we take care of those that we love, and the things that we have committed to, we are committed to, man, and we're blessed to be here, and man, I will say that you've been you may know this or may not know this. I mean, you've contributed to inspiring me, and like if you had not inspired me, that okay, we're signing out. But if you had not inspired me to go on YouTube and search for instrumentals and find something that moves me and write to it, then that Sorry I'm Late mixtape likely would have not come out, or I would not have been inspired to do so, and those freestyles would not have come out. And you've been doing this podcast, and like, damn, dog, I've been wanting to do something similar, and it's been inspirational for me to do, and to like, even pursue that or whatever, man. And I appreciate where you're going and your orbit, and I'm on a different orbit because we're all on different paths, but I appreciate what you're doing, and the strides that you're taking, and your dedication to your craft. And that's like what inspires me, your dedication to the craft, and you only continue to get better. And you've been doing it for how many freaking 10, 20 years or whatever?
Yeah, easily a little bit more than 10 years, but yeah, word. Yeah, I mean, look, man, we all influence each other, man, in one way or another. But aside from inspiring, bro, I just appreciate your friendship. And I mean, look, bro, the podcast is gonna end, and we're just gonna kick it because we're actually friends, unlike some of these rap motherfuckers I don't really rock with. So with that being said, y'all be good. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, yada yada yada. Be cool, man. All right, ask somebody if they're all right, because it might go a long way. All right.
Charles Fast in Demand, Vice City Cypher, OG, Miami 305 all day.
We out of here, yo.
Canvas Economy. Peace.
Medianoche.
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 Podcast.
Medianoche.
Podcast.
Medianoche.
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 Podcast.